With the Powerball jackpot sitting at $800 million, the highest jackpot of any lottery in U.S. history, millions are rushing out to get their hands on what they hope is the winning ticket. Winning the lottery is, after all, life-changing. But that change isn't always for the better. Today, we will be counting down 6 of the most unlucky lottery winners ever. Number 6. In 1996, Chicago-born Jeffery Dampier Jr., along with his then-wife, won $20 million in the Illinois lottery. After he and his wife divorced, he met Crystal Jackson, whom he eventually married. 2 years later, the two moved to Florida, where Dampier invested in a popcorn business called Kassie's Gourmet Popcorn. In 2005, his sister-in-law Victoria, with whom he was having an affair, and her boyfriend Nathaniel Jackson murdered Dampier. After binding his hands and feet with shoelaces, Nathaniel reportedly gave a shotgun to Victoria and said, "Shoot him or I'll shoot you." Victoria, choosing to live, shot Dampier in the back of the head. Number 5. After purchasing the ticket that won him $30 million, Abraham Shakespeare took a one-time lump sum payment of $17 million. Moving from his working-class neighborhood and into the $1 million home in a gated community, Abraham made few other major purchases, leaving him with much of his winnings. On February 9, 2009, Abraham registered his limited liability company with the Florida Department of State's Division of Corporations, a company he launched with Doris Moore. 9 months later, his family reported him missing on November 9th, stating that they had not heard from him since April of that year. After receiving a tip, investigators searched the backyard of a home purchased by Moore. Abraham's body was found under a newly constructed concrete slab. On February 19, 2010, Doris Moore was arrested and charged with the first-degree murder of Abraham Shakespeare. Number 4. Andrew Whittaker was the sole winner of what was, at the time, the highest jackpot ever, just under $315 million on Christmas of 2002. He chose to take a one-time payment of $113 million and received $83 million after taxes. After donating almost $23 million to various charities, his bad fortune began. Between August 2003 and January 2004, Whittaker was robbed of $745,000. $200,000 of it was later recovered. In September of 2003, Whittaker's granddaughter's boyfriend was found dead of a drug overdose in Whittaker's home. Then Whittaker lost his granddaughter. Though ruled undetermined, her death appeared to be murder. His bad luck continued as he was charged with DUI, bounced checks, and faced numerous lawsuits. His daughter was then found dead in July of 2009. Foul play was not suspected. Whittaker finally checked himself into a rehab center in 2015 for heroin, cocaine, and LSD addiction problems. Number 3. In 1988, William Post won $16 million in the Pennsylvania lottery. At the time of his winning, Post had less than $3 in his bank account. Choosing annual payments, Post received his first check for $498,000, spending more than $300,000 on gifts and poor investments. He was $500,000 in debt within 3 months. In 1989, Post's brother hired a hitman to kill him, planning to collect Post's winnings for himself. The attempt was unsuccessful, and Post's brother was arrested. Post's landlady and occasional girlfriend, Ann Kirpick, sued him in 1989, winning the case in 1992 and 1/3 of his winnings. Finally, Post was arrested in 1998 for a 1992 assault charge after refusing to serve a 6 to 24-month prison sentence. He later racked up $1 million in debt, which he was unable to pay. He died on January 15, 2006. Number 2. David and Marie Lou of Australia won $5 million in the Oz Lotto in 1999. After receiving their money, they decided to put it in the hands of their longtime friend and accountant, Peter Kelly. As years went by, Marie Lou began to spend recklessly, causing arguments between her and Peter. Peter warned her that her spending habits were not feasible in the long term. The arguments continued until things finally came to a head. On March 28, 2011, Peter refused to give Marie Lou money she was demanding, stating that she did not need it. After Marie Lou allegedly pushed him, Peter was sent into a fit of rage, where he retrieved a mallet from his car and beat her over the head with it. He then used his hands to suffocate her. Marie Lou's body was found hours later by her daughter. After pleading guilty to murder, Peter Kelly was sentenced to 18 years in jail. Number 1. Uruj Khan was a native of India, living in Chicago at the time of his winning. After swearing off gambling, saying this was his last ticket, Khan then scratched off his ticket, revealing a $1 million prize. Choosing a one-time payment of $425,000, his check was issued July 19th. That night after dinner, Khan began to feel unwell. After being taken to the hospital, Khan was pronounced dead July 20th. Hardened arteries were the official cause of death due to a basic toxicology screening coming back negative. However, after an unidentified family member pushed for further investigation, a more extensive toxicology screening was performed, revealing that Khan had been poisoned with cyanide, making the case a murder investigation. No charges have been filed in the case.